guys, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to the Cinematic Reviewer. Today I'm reviewing Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So I had a less than desirable experience at the theater for this movie. So I went to an early screening for this. This is really the only reason I went to see this movie. I did see the first movie on Peacock back in 2023. I didn't much care for it. I just don't get the appeal of the game. And it did feel a little bit of like, it feels like it's for kids, and other times it does seem like it's a Blumhouse movie, PG-13 type thing, so it just seemed a little off in the tone thematically. Anyway, this time around, it was a real shame. I got there plenty early. Turns out they had 2 showings. So they had an early screening for The Housemaid, and they had an early screening for Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Turned out the line that I was in was for The Housemaid, so I had to go to the other line. They already were seating everybody, so I ended up right at the front. And I'm sure those of us who go to the theater know there's the difference between the screen that's more like just a standard box and the one that's more curved. I unfortunately experienced the curved one, and I was all the way as close to the end of the row as you could be, other than one seat. So I'm like, looking like crazy. It was so bad. And it was so unfortunate because they had so many seats blocked off, reserved for, I guess it would be like the journalists, the critics, that type of thing. But you know what? Hardly any of them showed up. So they're free game over there, perfectly good seats, but there's security people and they told us you have to be over here. I saw 2 people get up from the second row, so just the row above me, and they just went over there. The security lady didn't care, but I was like, I ain't gonna mess around and find out in case I go messing around. I was like, get back over there. Anyway, in general, I do wish I didn't go to this. I myself was kind of like, yeah, let me just go ahead and cancel this thing. Even when I was in my seat, I was like, you know what, let me just leave. So I didn't leave, but I do kind of wish I did. Otherwise, the movie starts, oh my gosh, it looks so bad. So the characters are looking so wonky, like an eye is here, an eye is there. That's how weird the screen looks from this vantage point. I'm thinking this is like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, this is looking ridiculous. And then it almost looks like it's starting to be normal, and instead it's just super tiny head, super big body, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is such a headache. It was so frustrating. So eventually I just decided, you know what, let me at least move up to second row. So I finally got out of my seat. I went to the center of second row. At least it was semi-okay. It wasn't all wonky. It's still like you still gotta sit like that, but at least it didn't look so terribly looking. Now the reason I compare this to 2020, I went to see the movie Jojo Rabbit. Now this is when they upgraded their seats at this specific theater. They upgraded their seats from the regular to the recliners. Unfortunately for us, we ended up all the way in the front, and yeah, we're like this. Ugh. And it obviously looked so weird. It's like, it's just, I mean, why are seats so close like that? I just don't get the appeal. I don't get why people go for those seats. I know for me, it was only strictly because they told us that's where you gotta be. I definitely wish I had just left. Whatever the case, it's not like the movie wasn't enjoyed by me because of my seating arrangement and all that happened there. No, like the movie itself, I'm purely looking at it as a movie. At the very least, at least the sound is good so I could hear what they're saying. So it's not like that was different. I just was very disappointed in this movie. I did think it kept seeming like it was going to lead to something that is like, okay, we're going to get the true conflict and we're going to get a 3-act story structure. That is not what we got. It just kept seeming like it was going to build and build and build with the plot, and then the movie ends. Come on back for movie 3. Like, what's the point of that? I really don't understand it. The people in my theater, they're clapping up a storm when the movie ends. I'm like, once again, if you did see my Jurassic World Rebirth video, when people were clapping in the theater for that, I'm thinking to myself the exact same thing. Please let it be that you are clapping because the movie is over, not because you enjoyed what you just saw, because, come on, people. So for the movie itself, a couple points I wanted to touch on. Of course, it had to be Newman. Newman is always the culprit, isn't he? Jurassic Park, Seinfeld, this movie now. It's just like, why has he always got to be the problem? But I will say, at first I didn't recognize him. First off was because of where I was in the theater at that point, and then once I sat normally, I was able to actually see, yes, it is him. But also, he has slimmed down quite a bit. Like, I haven't seen him in recent stuff, so I did not know he got down to that size, so good for him. So I did recognize the guy playing Michael. What was so funny was the jump scare. It was so obvious it was going to be a jump scare, but the real jump scare is his face. Have you seen that mug on him? I'm like, oh no! Like, the jump scare itself that's intended to be there, it's like, okay. But yeah, the second I saw that guy's face, I was like, ooh. Go back. I don't want to see this guy again. But while I was watching the movie, I'm like, I know who that guy is, but where do I recognize him from? I just couldn't put my finger on it. And as I was driving back home, I was like, oh my gosh, Kaz Brekker from Shadow and Bone. I was like, that's it. I didn't like him in Shadow and Bone. I didn't like him here. What's the decision in this guy? I know in general this movie is gonna be more horror-centric. So, hey, that's legit, but for the most part, they're choosing people that are, like, semi-famous. So why specifically this guy? I did not like seeing this guy. I did not appreciate they chose to cast this guy. So like I said, the 3-act story structure, where is it? The credits start and I'm just like, wait, it's over? I mean, in a way, I was happy that it was over, but it's also like, oh my gosh, why? It was just so anticlimactic. Like I said, it just leads into movie 3. Like, what was even the point of this movie? I definitely was surprised looking at the runtime after I watched the movie. It was an hour 44. It didn't feel that long, and not in a way of, oh man, this movie's great. It's cooking. It's fantastic. No, it's like it just keeps seeming like nothing is happening, and we keep building up to something that never pays off. So I would say in some ways at first with this movie, I felt like we were finally getting some improvements in comparison to the first movie because I did not much care for the first movie, but I will say at least the first movie seemed like it had a 3-act story structure, and this movie doesn't have that. I was just ridiculously disappointed. I still feel, just like I felt with the first movie, that it just has this weird aspect to it where it's like sometimes we're gonna get into major horror mode and other times it's like, yeah, this is for kids, and the acting is not good, the dialogue is not good. It's just one of those of, this is horror for kids, but other times it's like, ooh, that looks like it could traumatize a kid. It's just a very weird setup and everything. But in general, I will say I don't really get why the game was as big as it was. I think I understand what this game is all about, so that's kind of really why I'm like, why? Why is this the big phenomena it is? Whatever the case, I'm ridiculously disappointed. I definitely wasted my time here. That's how it goes though. And I know in general, plenty of people are pleased with it. Like the critics are more like me and not enjoying this movie. And then the people that are fans of the game, they're watching this movie, having a great time, rating it pretty high on Rotten Tomatoes and other sorts of things. I just don't get it. What is it? What is the secret code that I'm not understanding here? And I'm not saying I want to understand why this is as good as it is. I'm 100% on with my opinion on this. I just don't get the appeal. It's not for me. Whatever the case. It was something to watch. It was free. And even that, I'm like, you should be paying me for sitting through this junk. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, comment below. And if you liked this video and would like to see more movie content, be sure to hit that subscribe button. See you guys next time. Bye!